started recording. Thank you. Right. So I'm Tushar. I'm currently in SD at Mintra. Okay, and I generally work in the payments team there. Whatever the refunds that you get, me and my team manages that. We associate with different banks and try to make sure the refund process is little smooth and manage that API stuff. I'm basically managing the services. Okay, and I work in Java and React both. Okay, more likely in Java. And so that's a quick introduction about myself. I am from NIT Allahabad in computer science, and teaching is something that I've been doing over in 1.5 years by now, and this is something that I really love about. Teaching is something that I really love more than honestly the development part. And I have taught over 1,000 people by now, and definitely love to interact new people and learn from them, share them my experiences, and that is how the process is. Right, super exciting journey this is. All right. So I even want you guys to introduce yourself. Shiva, I don't think so. You will really need the recording of this session. Okay. The idea of this session is to help you build from a very scratch of how to the chat app from a very scratch level. Okay, this is something that you should build. Okay, so that is what we'll be learning. I would request that try attending it live, because that is how you can learn it more. Okay, so I'll just show you the demo of this. Okay, this is how the chat app looks like. Okay, this is more like a Discord server maybe. Okay, where people can log in and trying to do this. Okay, so that is the idea. Let's try to introduce ourselves in a little different manner. So I want everybody to use this particular thing and introduce themselves there. Okay, just send a hi. Let's see if this is working. So this is the app that we are gonna use, and this is I've deployed it online. Okay, so you guys can try communicating. Let's try the chat section. Let's try using the chat section there. So let's try this. If I could see some messages here. Can you guys try this? You just need to log in using the Gmail, and you're good to start with this. Hi. Okay, sounds good. We've got the first hi. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, nice, nice, nice. ठीक है चल रहा है. Hi, my name is Lakshya. Hi, hello, hello, hello. Hi, good, sounds good. Please, I would request, please, if somebody does not has to say something, please mute, or anything. Okay. All right, perfect. ठीक है चल रहा है. Okay, so this is the app. Okay, you guys can communicate here. You guys can talk here, and this is what we'll be making. Okay, so this is the plan. We'll be using React for the front end design part. I will talk about components. I will talk about different stuff, and we will be using the Firestore. So these are the two super good components. I very strongly believe that yes, this could also become one of your minor projects in your resume. Okay, so I would say that if you're adding 2 to 3 my voice is
Sir, you are inaudible.
seems fine. Guys, okay, yeah, सही है ना? Cool. All right, okay. So are you guys excited? Sounds good. All prepared? Okay, before we really start and others, I just wanted to one two things from your end. I just wanted to see. So you guys can tell me which year of college you are from. Okay, कौन से college में हो, and college is also not so important. Which year you are from and your basic understanding of web development. Web development में what is your basic understanding? Come on, guys, everybody. Sachin, Tafin, Tausif, Shubham, Bhavya, Ayushi, Aditi, Prabhu, Shraddha, Shreya, Shubham. Guys, come on, let's see. So, two important things. One of them is what is your experience with web development, and second thing is your year of graduation, second year, third year, which year you are from. दोनों चीजें एक साथ लिख दो, yeah. Also share your experience with web development. Okay, passed out 2020, some knowledge of HTML, CSS, React, Spring Boot. Oh my God, Ronak is a champion. Graduated, zero experience. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Right, little bit idea of HTML, CSS, right? Keeper app, React, REST without React. Okay, third of HTML, CSS. Okay, got it. So I could realize that that almost people are very beginner. Okay, and that is fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay, we all are here to learn. It's absolutely fine. I just change the layout. Okay, so that is absolutely fine. So welcome to this. Okay. So I just want to know from you guys. Let's probably start and have more discussions. You know, while we continue. Okay. Cool. You know? I'll also join. Just give me a second. I'll join from the mobile also, so that. Just give me a second. All right. So before I just wanted to know your ideas. Know your React. We have HTML, CSS. You have done that, but what is React really doing? Okay. So why do we need React? Why do we need React? What is that we really need React? ऐसा क्या React अलग कर रही है? How is React different? What are the benefits of React? Yes, guys, create dynamic pages. Okay. I just want your views, guys. Let me know. Why do we really need React? Its front-end framework make reusable code. Okay. So reusable code. Okay. One of them is the reusable code. Okay. Sounds good. This one. Wait. So one of the ideas that I could see is the reusable code. Good. Reusable code. That's fine. That's good. Okay. Second is what? Yes. Helpful in real life implementation. Single page application. Good. Good. Component reusability. Virtual DOM faster. Okay. So one of them is the prevent reloading. Prevent page reloading. Okay. So you can say this as single page components or जो भी आप इसको कह सकते हो. Virtual DOM, they all mean the same things actually. Okay. The second thing is it prevents page reloading. Okay. Third pointer. Virtual DOM faster threading. Okay. Yes, guys, come on. Let's try this. और किसी को कोई idea? Okay. Right. Cool, huh? HTML can also be inserted, easy to adopt. Framework of JS. Okay. Cool. Okay, so reusability of components, I'll try to explain you in some time. But before I explain that, I was just wanted to explain you about the second important, the prevent page reloading. What do I really mean by prevent page loading? I mean that is HTML can work with HTML and CSS. Okay, guys, not clear. Just 1 second. Just give me a second. I'll just try to switch to a much better network. एक सेकेंड जस्ट गिव मी सेकेंड अब दिक्कत नहीं आएगी प्रेफरेबली आई थिंक नाउ दैट्स फाइन नहीं अभी भी इज इट बाय फाइन गाइस fine not fine yeah right okay so probably I've come to a much closer place on the Wi-Fi. I think this should be fine. Right cool hai ab nahi dikkat aayegi, don't worry. Okay, so now I was talking about the important thing, that's the prevent page reloading. Okay, this was the important thing that I wanted to talk about. So what do we really mean by this? And this is something that is why React is most famous for. So suppose you are using the Instagram, right? So you are using the Instagram. And so while you see the Instagram, so this is the photo of your crush. Okay. So your crush has uploaded recently a beautiful pic. So now there is this heart button, right? Okay. You click on this heart button. Okay. It turns red. Does the page reloads? Does the page reloads? Yes, no. क्या पेज रीलोड करता है सारा? नहीं ना, right? It is just this particular component that turns red, okay, and that is the only thing that is changed, right? So the complete page does not reload. It is only that component, okay? It is only that particular component that re-renders. कि बस वही component re-render होता है, or I will say that just that component is what that reloads, right? This is the most important use case of React. Okay, that technically what they should have done, they should have reloaded the complete page. Okay, they should have reloaded the complete page, and they should have updated the count of likes by 1, right? They update the count, whatever the count of likes are there, count of likes by 1. That for example, if there were 10 likes in the beginning, now there are 11 likes, right? So this is the idea, that only a particular component, okay, only a particular component is reloaded. The other component, so actually React helps you divide the complete page into components. Okay, the complete page is divided into components, and each component behaves independently. Each component behaves independently. And we will also see what is the reusability, okay? So once that component is defined, the component can be reused. Once the component is defined, the component can be reused. This is very important, okay? Component you can think of like, component is like a function. Okay, you might have heard about the term functions. What are functions? Functions are codes that are written once, okay, that are written once, but that are reused again and again by calling them multiple times. I could make multiple function calls to this, okay. I could make multiple function calls, So since I could make multiple function calls, I am reusing this code that is written here. ठीक है, जो भी code यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है, whatever the code has been written here, I am simply reusing that code. That is very important. Okay, that I am simply reusing that code. That is another important use case of React. These are the two important use cases. That why do we need React? Number one, and its component reusability is the second thing. Okay, we will not go into detail what is virtual DOM and all that stuff, right? So far, guys, you are with me. Clear? Hai? Any doubts so far? Sounds good. Why is React important? Why is React useful? Yes, yes, yes. Sounds good. Okay. Good, 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 good. Cool, 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 cool. Okay. Um, okay, so now let's probably move ahead. Okay. I just want to introduce you to something that is very basic. Okay. Something that is very basic. That is called React hooks. Okay. That is called hooks. This was introduced in version, I think, React 16 or maybe something around 17 child. Okay. So what are hooks? Before we start hooks, let's talk about functions. Okay. So each particular piece of code is written in the form of function. Okay. Each particular piece of code is written in the form of functions. That yes, this particular piece of code is written in form of a function, and I mean each component is nothing but a function. Okay, each component that you see, जो भी component आप देखते हो, that is just a function. Okay, that is just a function. So React is a React is basically a combination of functions. Okay, React is basically a combination of functions, and let's meanwhile start creating the React app. Okay, so this will be basically, okay, so this will be basically, let's start with the new app. Here we go. Okay, so this is the new VS. Okay, so I'll be using VS Code to do this. Just one thing, guys. Do you really want to code it along with me, or do you guys want to understand the concept more? And you can, I'll share you the code definitely at a later stage. Yes. Okay. But do you guys want to code it alongside, or do you guys want to you want me to you want to understand more on the concept and learn now and code later, understand and code afterwards? Recording, probably, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think the team will decide it. um Actually, preferably, I think recording will not be shared. That is for internal purpose only. Understand it. Okay, okay, sounds good. Okay, so we'll be starting a new folder. I'll be creating a new folder. I'll be using the desktop new folder. That is the Qt React chat app, right? App, right. Okay. So this is the folder that I've created. Okay, any normal folder. This is the new folder that I've created. Both code and understand. Code it along with the code later. Okay. I'll just try if you guys could code it alongside. Yeah, right, right, right. Definitely code will be shared later. That is for sure 100% true. Okay, I will be sharing you the code later, definitely. I mean, you will be getting the access to the code. That is true. You can try understanding more now. That could be a good idea. Okay, so what is the first command that you'll be writing? That is npx create React app, and whatever the name of the app is, right? Chat app. So this is the basic command, the first command that we'll be using. That is to create the basic React structure. Okay. This automatically helps you to create the app. Okay. This automatically helps you to create the chat app. And this will create a basic structure of the React. Okay. This will create a basic structure of the React. Um, Before we really jump further, I want to talk about little bit about hooks. Okay. What do we really mean by hooks? And does anybody wants to explain what are hooks? If somebody wants to explain this, anybody? कोई explain करना चाहेगा hooks? Meanwhile, this is getting installed. Nobody? Yeah, please go ahead. Please unmute and try explaining what are hooks somewhat. Yeah, Bharat, can you try explaining what are hooks? Ramesh, Bharat, आप explain करना चाहते हो?
Hello.
Yeah, audible.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Basically, sir, hooks are the concept which is used in React to maintain the state. Suppose we input something or forms, then hooks are used to maintain the state and use that text or things.
Okay. Okay. Right. सही है. ठीक है. Okay. Sounds good. How did I save the file? Which file? Nothing. I did nothing. I just opened a new folder. Okay. I just created a folder on the desktop, and this is from where I get the terminal. Okay. So what I did was just created a new folder. The Cubase chat app is the new folder that I've created. Inside the chat app, I just opened this something called terminal, right? So this is something that I've done. And inside this, I've written this command, npx create react app chat app, right? Npx create react app is the command name. And from there, I've just written this chat app, right? Okay. So this is how I've created the basic app. Let's see how the app looks like. This is the basic default structure that is given to you. Okay. This is the basic default structure that is given to you by the React. Okay. Do you know, by the way, guys, who owns React? Let's see my general knowledge. React कौन maintain करता है? Yeah, right. So React is a thing that is maintained by Facebook. So definitely this is a growing thing, truly. Who maintains Java? Java कौन maintain करता है? अरे भाई साहब, intelligent people. Nice. Good, yeah, guys. Good. Okay, sounds good that people are definitely intelligent. So yes, that's true. Okay, Oracle maintains the language Java. Okay, so it's maintained by Java. Okay. So do you, by the way, guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. There is this interesting language called Bhai language also. How many of you guys know about that? Bhai lang. I'll just show you this. So yeah, yes, right. So there is this interesting language for the people who don't know. Okay, so there is this Bhai lang is a language. Two software developers at Amazon have built this language. Okay, this is the same language, and this is very much related to the Bhai. Bhai ye hai. This is the variable declaration. If else conditions are there, right? Printout statement is bol bhai, and agar bhai is the if condition, right? Bol bhai is again the print statement. Bye bye is the closing statement, right? Hello bye is the opening statement. So that is definitely interesting language. Okay, you guys must check it out. Okay, this is super interesting. Okay, so this is the idea of okay, this is something that you can check. Varna bhai, if else, if conditions. Okay, okay. Interesting language, definitely check it. So in order to start the React app, the command that you use is npm start. Okay, the command that we use is npm start. Oh, sorry, I'm one folder back, so I'll just go to the chat app. Now I'll use the npm start. Okay, so this is the basic structure that is given to me by the React app. Okay, this is the basic React app that is given to me. Let's just quickly talk about this. So anything that you see here, they are components. Okay, so this is app is a component. Okay, ये app is a component, and ये सब अभी के लिए you should ignore this. Okay, but we have to create different functions or different components in this. Okay, so we have to create different functions or different components in this. any particular function, okay, I'll just open actually here. Actually, I'll open it here. Okay. Yeah, so this is the basic structure, right? Components is like function. Yes, Tasim. Components is actually like a struct function. Okay. Okay. So a component, okay. So component has two important things. Okay. Any component has two important things. The first important thing, okay. So any function or any component, I will say this is the function. So it has two important things. वो component, the first part is the, so two parts, right? So that comes under the return part. Okay. Return part will actually contain the HTML CSS only. यहाँ पर HTML CSS ही होगा, right? HTML CSS will only be there, and that is something that you could realize it from here, right? This is same the div tags, if you might remember, the p tags, image tag, right? A reference tag. तो ये return statement के बीच में है, whatever is between the return statement, okay, and every function or every component will have this structure, right? So anything that is between the return statement, this will be circular bracket, sorry. So anything that is between the return statement is how the HTML, CSS or that component will look like. Okay, how that component will look like. The component that I have really defined, okay, the component that you have really defined, that will how will look like. Yes, Shreya, I'll try to talk to the team and probably give you particular. Maybe you can request that through a mail. Okay, we'll try that. Okay. Okay. So that is कि जो मैंने component बनाया, like the heart component I really talked about back then. How will this heart component look like, right? How will its design be? Where it will be placed? The HTML, CSS part. And the second part is here comes the JavaScript functions. Okay. यहाँ पर आते हैं JavaScript के functions. What do we really mean by them? By JavaScript functions, I mean that how will that component perform? Okay. The second thing that it is taking care is how will that component perform? कि वो component दिखता कैसा है, right? So any particular component has two important things, right? JavaScript is not talking anything new. Sorry, this React is nothing new. It is just a combination of the design. Okay, in the lower frame is the design part, and in the upper frame is the working. Okay, that how my particular component will work. Okay, yes, Ayushi, the code will be provided. Okay, don't worry, the code will be provided to you. Can one more component inserted return? Yes. No. I mean, okay, so it's something like this. Answer is yes. Okay, so it's not like exactly like this. So there are different functions or different components. Okay, so each component can call another components, right? So this is like function calling. Okay, try to understand the concept of function calling. कि जैसे एक function आपने define करा, for example, there is this function, maybe main, right? This is the main function. Okay, inside the main function you can call the sign in function. Okay, that sign in function you should come here. You can call the sign out function. Okay, you can call the sign out function. This is the second function that you could have called here. But function sign in and sign out are defined outside, right? This is something that we'll be seeing soon. Okay, that function sign in is there and function sign out is there. These functions are something that you can define. Okay, you can simply define these functions. They're having their own implementation. They're basically different components. Try to relate it to the function calling each other, right? Any documentation of the project for better understanding its working? Probably yes. Okay, probably yes. You will get it. Okay, you will be getting the code and some. So that will be a commented code. And also once, if you, I believe that you understand this class very well. Okay, you try to give your full attention to this class. I don't think so. You will need very much detailed documentation. Okay, you will get the code. You will and you will write it code once, so you will get a complete understanding and it's working is something that you'll definitely get it. Milind. Okay. 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 All right. Cool है. ठीक है ठीक है. ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है. So this is how the main function looks like. Okay. So this is the app.js and this is same as almost same. Just one thing is different. That is this class is just little bit different things. The class is having the class name, right? Like in normal HTML, you have div class and almost rest of the things the same. So I'll just clear this. Okay, I just clear this basic structure. So this is the div class app. Okay, this is the div class app. Before we really do this, okay, I'll just show you this. Okay, that let me talk about something called hooks. Okay, these are very important things. Okay, these are very important things. I'll just import. So you want to import, you want to use anything, you will have to simply import that. अगर मुझे कोई चीज यूज करनी है तो I will have to import that. Okay, I will be using two things from React. Okay, so one of the things is the React itself and second thing is the use state. Okay, these things are called, मतलब मैं बताता हूँ. So whatever, so this is a component, right? App is a component, correct? It has two important components. This part is telling how the design of the component will look like, and here you will do what the component will do, what this component will do. ठीक है, ये component करेगा क्या? Okay, so now for example, this particular thing we will be writing, I will be declaring a variable. Here we generally write things in JavaScript. Okay, we write JavaScript. So what we write in JavaScript, we define same as variables and you know, whatever things, variables, functions, whatever things that you can think of, you can generally write it here. Okay. Okay. So I am defining something called as defining a hook. Hook is something that is like a variable definition. Okay, that is something like a variable definition. So constant variable is defined. Okay, count is the variable. I'll just draw a simple button counter, and set count is the function. Okay, that will change this variable. So I am defining this with the help of a use state. Use statement defined kara and initializing its value to 0. I have simply defined the variable count. Okay, that will simply count the number of times I click a button. Okay, and set count is a function that will count the number of times you have used a counter button. Okay. Okay, now inside this class, in the normal state, okay, I'll be defining a p tag, paragraph tag. You have clicked these many times. I'm just showing you how the React is preventing the reloading part also. Okay, you have clicked the button. This is how anything that comes in this, okay, this is a way to define the variable inside the HTML CSS. Okay, curly braces are used to what? Okay, जो curly braces होते हैं, what are curly braces used for? Curly braces are used to define the variables. They are used to define the variables. कि जो भी variables हैं, they are used to define the variables inside the. They are used to define the variable inside the HTML CSS. अगर मुझे HTML CSS के बीच में I have to define the variables, I will actually use the curly braces. That is the idea of this particular curly braces. Okay. Okay. So I will be using the count variable. Okay. And if you little bit know about HTML, okay, if you know a little bit about HTML, okay, I am using a button. Okay, button is a thing in HTML. Okay, button ले लिया मैंने. On click, this is somewhat of JavaScript. Okay, this is an arrow-based function. Okay, थोड़ा बहुत JavaScript पे. On click is like an event trigger that what will happen once you click on a button. Okay, set count. The set count function will be called, and it will increase the count variable by 1. Okay, the set count button has been called, and it will simply increase the count by 1, and button is clicked. Okay, a little bit of JavaScript. Okay, this is the on click function is a JavaScript function. This is the function that I've written. That what will happen once you click on this button? I'll just show you this. Okay, I just want you guys to show. I want to show you guys this. Okay, so this is the little bit changes that I've done. So if you could see how the React app has changed, now try to see this. Try to relate what I talked about earlier. I am just simply clicking here. Okay, I'm just simply clicking here. And is my complete page reloading? No, right? मेरा complete page reload हो रहा है? नहीं. Only that particular piece of this page is getting changed, right? The complete page does not change. Okay, only that particular piece, that particular section is getting changed. The other part remains same, right? The rest of the only this, so the complete page does not reload. Okay, only this particular piece of the, what I'll say, this particular piece of the code is getting changed. बस यहाँ पर re-rendering हो रही है. That is how you can define. Yes, correct, Asif. So that is what is the beauty of React, कि you can simply define components कि मुझे particular component की ही reloading करनी है. I don't want to reload the complete page. No, only some particular component has to be reloaded with the data. Right? That is the main idea of React. Okay. Okay. So idea is that I just wanted, so I gave you that heart example, right? Crush wali heart example. So I'll tell you honestly, crush wali heart example is something that you will never forget. Okay. So this is the example that you will never forget. No. Okay. So even if you try to realize this, that once you click on this heart button, okay. So once you click on this heart button, yeah. So only this particular component has changed, right? The complete page does not reload, right? The complete page does not reload. No complete reloading. Okay, the complete page does not reload. No. Okay. It is only a particular component that is getting reloaded. But यही part variable change हो रहा है. Only this variable is getting changed. Okay. So this is the use of hooks. Okay, this is called hooks. Hooks are like basically try to get this. Okay, try to get this, that so component has been defined. Okay, if I talk this is a component. अगर उसमें कुछ data आ रहा है, if there is any data inside that component, okay, that data will just get reloaded, okay, without reloading the complete page. Only data will get reloaded without reloading the complete page. That is the main idea and beauty of React. Okay, without reloading. I'm very sorry, I don't know why it's coming so bad in rating. Maybe without reloading the page. Okay, so without reloading the page, the data component is getting reloaded. Okay, that is the idea, कि पूरे page को reload नहीं कर रहे हैं, only that the component is getting reloaded. Okay, okay, so we'll go about this. Okay, let's see. Okay, I want you guys to tell me. Okay, I want you guys to tell me that in our chat app, what should be the different functions, that what should be the different components that I should make. क्या क्या different components होने चाहिए inside my app? Yes guys, I want everybody to participate more on this. What should be the different functions that I should try to create? Yes, take 2 minutes time, think on this.
Like send button, emojis, and some Google sign in, sign out.
Okay, that could, we could do that also. I mean, on a high level, on a very high level, what could be the different components we should have? On a very high level. Okay, high level पे बताओ. I mean, try to relate it to that. Okay, I'll give you some hint. Okay, try to relate it to that so a component, मैं component कैसे सोचता हूँ? How do I really think that what will be a component? Components are those things जहां पर data change हो रहा है. Okay, where the data is getting changed. where the data is getting changed. For example, you talked about this nav bar, right? This top nav bar. But why do I really need to make this as a component, right? Why do I really need to make? Because this is simple fix, right? Maybe welcome to chat app is something that I've written here. Welcome to chat app, right? So what is the use of making this as a component, right? This is something that I should not make as a component because this is fixed, right? No data is coming, right? It is not interacting with data. So a component is that particular thing which is interacting with data, okay? Which is interacting with data or maybe playing with data. We all are players here. So it is something that is playing with the data. That is something that is defined as a component. Now try this. Now tell me, कि क्या होंगे components? Come on, बाकी answers. Okay, so let's probably see this. Okay, I think you got it to some extent, but there is still something that is little required. Okay, so I majorly define this as three important components. ठीक है, जो चीज आप बता रहे हो ना, okay, I'll tell you. Whatever things that you are telling as variables. कि variables क्या क्या होंगे, right? That you're talking about online, offline, or maybe user information. So that are the variables that we'll be creating in the components. On a high level, okay, on a high level, there are three components. Okay, three components. There are on a high level, there are three components. Yes, yes, yes. Good, Ronald, good. So one of the component is sign in. Okay. Inside the sign in, there is a variable user, there is a variable active that is separate, right? Just say for example, inside my app, there was a variable count, right? These are the variables, but the component is app. The name of the app is, but the component is app, and these are variables. Or you can also say these are hooks. Okay, just fancy terms. Okay, they don't have very deep meaning. They're just simple fancy them. Second component is sign out. Okay, sign out. Functions, मतलब functions कौन से बनाएंगे? Inside that functions, हम different variables pass कर रहे हैं. That is fine. Okay, functions are calling each other functions, but high level we have three functions, right? Third is the chat room, maybe, right? Yes, these are the three chat. These are three things that are present inside our chat room. Okay. Yeah. So these are, and they have further variables and they have further chat messages. So that all is fine. Okay, that all is good. But at a high level, we have these three things as components, right? Okay. For storing of the information, okay, for storing of the information, we use something called as Firestore. Okay, so we have something called as Firestore. Okay, so Firestore is the Firebase. Firebase is the online database that is kept by Google. Okay, so Firebase is something that we'll be using. So this is online database where we will be storing our messages. For example, whatever the messages that I have sent here, okay, and Firebase will also help us with this Google authentication. That you could see this, right? That this is the Google authentication. So and this is storing all the messages that you have sent. Okay. So for that we need online database, right? To store this information, we need online database. And online database is something that Firebase is providing. Guys, this color is visible, right? Just I am wondering if blue color is little fine, right? Screen visible है ना? कुछ issue तो नहीं है screen में? Right.
No, sir. Sir, but use the language to better understanding.
क्या क्या क्या?
सर हिंदी लैंग्वेज यूज करिए जो थोड़ा अच्छे से समझ में आए.
Yeah, Hindi. I'm not sure if everybody is comfortable with Hindi. Anybody who does not even understand Hindi, how many people are there?
It's a little bit difficulty in English language.
Little bit difficult in Hindi. Okay, yes, yes, okay. Hmm. Okay, 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 okay. Hmm. No in English. Okay. Got it, got it, got it. I'll try this. Yes, yes, got it. Only English, got it. Cool, cool. Okay. So what I'll try this. Okay, if any very difficult concept is there, yes, we'll be going in English preferably. Okay, we'll try to keep it. Yes, we'll keep it English only. But if any particular concept is there that is little more difficult, I'll re-explain that in Hindi. Okay. But mostly we'll try to cover English only. Fine. That is the plan. That any difficult concept is there on any important thing that I want to convey you guys. That's something I'll repeat in Hindi if required. But majorly we will go in English. Okay. Yeah. Because there are a lot of people who don't even understand. I understand that completely. Diverse background. Okay. So that is the plan. Okay. So Firebase is an online DB, okay, where I'll be storing the messages and the other information, right? Correct. Okay. So let's probably start this. First of all, let me create some basic functions that I was talking about. So three important functions or three important components is what I'll be creating. Okay. So function app ban gaya. Okay. I mean, we'll be creating this app. We'll be changing this app. This was just to show you a demo, but it's like I'll be creating the function sign in. Okay, this is the sign in function, correct? Similar to sign in, I have the function sign out. Okay, similar to function sign in. And what is the third function I talked about? Chat room, right? The basic high level functions. Chat room. Okay. So these are the three important functions that we'll be having. Okay. Now try to understand this. Okay. I'll just erase this. Erase kar dunga main, because we'll not making mutton, but something similar. Okay. So before we really jump into this, okay, there are two important things that we need to install. Okay. There are two important things that we need to install. That is, एक second यहीं पर कर लेते हैं. Okay. Okay. So the first important thing is that हमें Firebase के साथ connect करना है, right? So we'll be installing Firebase. Okay. The first thing that we'll be installing is Firebase. npm install Firebase. To install anything, we'll be using npm install and the name. So it is installing the Firebase. And meanwhile, we will set up the online Firebase. जो online Firebase है, whatever the online Firebase is there, I will set up that. I would recommend you guys, I will go through this process very slowly, but I want you guys to set up this along with me. Okay. I want you guys to set up this along with me. So first, everybody will go to this Firebase login. यहाँ पर आ जाओ. Everybody should come at this point. Login. You will be logging it using Google. Okay. Okay. So first, you just watch. Okay. Do this. Follow me, everybody. You will. I will show you. You will watch properly, and you will try to copy it. Okay. I will give you proper time for this, but I want everybody to do this. This is an important setup, and I have realized that at a later stage, people find it difficult setting it up. Okay. Do it along with me. Add project, the name of the project, anything that you want to give. I will be naming it React Chat App. No, maybe Q8 Chat App. Whatever name you want to give it. Q8 Chat App. Okay. Continue. You can continue. Okay. Continue. No changes. Just the name. Continue. Select an account. Default account for Firebase. Create project. Yes, please, everybody type a yes after you're done with this. Okay. There are multiple steps involved in this. I will go slowly, right? Type yes after you're done this. Yes, guys, come on. Let's be little more active. 53 people, guys. Only 3 or 4 are responding actively. Come on. Done, man. Once again, starting screen. Yeah, that is the problem, right? I cannot redo this again and again, matlab, because my project is created. You want me to just simple, right? Just select any name and continue. Right? Select any name and continue. Okay. Okay. So now, once you've really done this, okay, once you've please. So once you've really done this, okay, now the next important concept is, okay, build authentication. Okay, build में जाके authentication, get started. So basically we are trying to add Google as, मतलब sign in with Google वाली option को add कर रहे हैं. Okay, build में जाके authentication, Google. Okay, sign in with Google. Authentication means यहाँ पर sign in method. Okay, here the second option is sign in method, that with which option you want to sign in. Okay, Google, enable. Okay, project support email Tushar Garg, and save. Repeat. From build option, I will go authentication, sign in method, Google. Okay, enable. Project support email will be a default email with whatever email you have logged in to this. Like for example, I am using tushargarg0110. Okay, and save. ठीक है. Right, done. यहाँ पर आ गया. You can add Facebook also, that is up to you. Okay, you can add multiple Facebooks. आप email ID sign in से भी password कर सकते हो. But Google one is little easy to set up. It's quick. So I would I will be doing here Google. You can do multiple also. That's up to you. Okay, but for now, I think for the class being, you can do with Google. At a later stage after the class, you can try adding others as homework. I mean, yeah. कूल है ना. बाकी लोग कर रहे हैं गाइस, नहीं कर रहे? अजीता, अमन, आशुतोष, अश्विनी, भारत, भरत रमेश, टू पीपल, राइट? नित्या, ओम प्रकाश, साहू, संयम, सत्यजीत, सोमेश, गाइस कम ऑन. यस है ना? ठीक है. ओके, सो आफ्टर दिस इज डन, ओके, so this is we have set up the sign in method. Now next we'll be setting up the next thing that we'll be setting up is the the database. Okay, build Firestore database. Okay, Firestore database, same process, simple. Build Firestore database, create database, and यहाँ पर you have to change it. Start in test mode. Okay, start in test mode. Next, enable. Simple, right? Build, start in test mode, enable. Simple. Okay, so we have basically set up the with the production. Okay, so if you actually start with production, then it is, you have to authenticate it very at a difficult level to connect it to the database, because that involves security reason. In the test, you can simply do it very simply, right? Actually, this is the problem. I will have to create another app for repeating it. I'll just tell you. Okay, from the build, you go to the Firestore database, and from Firestore database, here get started option would have come. Okay, so यहाँ पर get started वाले option आ रही होगी. start in test mode, okay, start in test mode, and next, बस ये बन जाएगा आपका. Okay, so we have set an online database for this. Should let me know once it is done. Type a yes after you have done this. Others also, guys, please. यहाँ तक हो गया. This is the only setup we have to do. Okay, so I think people are done with this. Okay, and yeah. So we have installed the Fire. We have installed this. Okay, Firebase has been installed. And one more thing we need to do is that React hooks Firebase. React Firebase hooks. Okay, so that is npm install React Firebase के hooks. कि Firebase ने भी, okay, Firebase ने भी by default कुछ variables बना रखे हैं. Okay, see what. So we have installed two things. One of them thing is the Firebase. So and the second thing is React Firebase hooks. कि React ने भी Firebase के कुछ hooks बना रखे हैं. What do we really mean by them? But we mean by them is that they have defined some variables. Okay, they have defined some variables which you can use them. Okay, they have defined some variables and you can simply use them. Okay, so that is something the React Firebase hooks does. Okay, you can simply use them and inbuilt functions. Yes, right. Library, yeah. So that is, we'll be using these functions for our authentication and sign-in process. Okay. Okay. So let's start completing the functions. Okay. First, I'll write something in the. Okay. First, before we started, let's import things. So we will be importing Firebase. Okay. Import Firebase. Import Firebase from Firebase /compact /applet. मैंने Firebase import करा. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing will be importing the authentication also. Import Firebase compact authorization. मतलब we should do it one by one, but I'm just doing it so that you just understand. These are things ये हमें चाहिए थी. कि Firebase की कुछ basic चीजें हैं. Okay, and the database, right? Import Firebase /compact /firestore. Okay, and we'll also do the analytics at a later stage, so we can import it now. Firebase, sorry, /analytics, right? Okay, these are the basic things जो Firebase की मुझे import. I needed these things from the Firebase. I have just simply imported these things. Okay, now I need to the hooks I told you, right? Just say this use state was the hook that I used, right? Similarly, I will be using the Firebase hooks also. Okay, that is import use state or use authorization state. Yes, use authorization state. Use authorization state from React Firebase hooks. कि React Firebase hooks में से ये ले आओ. Okay, import कर रहे हैं simply whatever things that I need, I will be importing them. You don't need to learn them. Okay, these things are available on the internet. You can just simply copy paste as and when required. But for that purpose, you need to know that yes, these functions are there, right? Okay. So abhi ke liye this is fine. Okay. Now, so one more important thing, guys. Okay, one more very important thing. That is, okay. Now I want your attention here. See, repeat line number 11. Abhi ke liye forget it. Okay, this is like a hook. Okay, what I am doing this. This is I am importing an inbuilt Firebase hook. Okay, that will be used for authentication, for getting user actually. That what is the user? Okay, it's like a variable. Okay, this will help me get a user variable. Okay, from the Google you get a user variable. So this is a function that helps get the user variable. I will show its use. Okay, now try to understand this very important concept, that is the Firebase is online database, right? यहाँ पर whatever the Firebase that you see, this is an online database. Firebase DB is an online database, and this is your local server, right? This is where you're writing your code. This is your local server basically, and now you need to connect it to the remote server also, right? We have set up its configuration. Okay, we have set up its configuration. That's good. Okay, set up its configuration. That is good. But you need to understand this. Okay, you need to understand this, that you need to connect it also. That's my idea. Okay, you need to connect it also. Connect it also. ठीक है, आप इसको connect करना पड़ेगा to this, right? So basically, in the VS Code, right? Right. So on my VS Code, I need to connect my local VS Code with the remote, with the Firebase database that is kept online. I need to somehow connect them. That is very important. How will I connect them? See, in the project settings, okay, see this. Okay, project settings. I go to the project settings. Yes. Okay. ध्यान से देखते जाना. This is third option, web app. Set up web app. Okay. Okay. Next, should I repeat this? See this. Project settings. I go to the project settings. There are no apps set yet. Web app, third option, web app. What is the name? Any name you can keep that. That's fine. Okay, I'll keep the name Qubate. Chat app. Okay, register app. Okay, don't checkbox this option. Okay, you don't need the hosting. I will show you how to do the hosting later. Okay, you can checkbox this also, but not required. Register app. Okay, nothing. Continue to console. हो गया. ठीक है. सही है. So this is how you simply do this. Okay. Okay. So now you have got some information of this app, right? You have got some information of this app. Now we'll be connecting this app. We'll be copying this information in the VS Code. See this. यार ये repeat नहीं कर सकता. That is the problem. Ready. Okay. How will I repeat this? Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. इतना कुछ खास है नहीं. See this. So you will have this option, third option. Okay. So chat app. Okay. Register app. Set up fire, SDK fire. Continue. Okay. Just this name you have to fill and everything continue. Okay. Just this name you have to fill. Everything else skip, continue. Sahil, got it? Sahil, Jai Mata Di. Sahil, done. Okay. Sahil पे तब तक नहीं होगा, तब तक नहीं चल रहा.
Done, sir.
हो गया पक्का? ठीक है. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's how you set up the Firebase. Okay, you would have got this. Okay, now see this, very important. The next thing that we'll be doing is, okay, we will be initializing the app. Okay, how we'll be doing this? Firebase dot initialize app. Okay, I'll be initializing the app, and here I will be pasting my information. Okay, जो भी information मैंने वहां से copy, whatever the information I need to initialize my app, and whatever information I am having there, I will copy this information. Okay. You will get the code part of this, guys. Don't worry. Coding part is something you will get it, but you have to write your configuration here. Okay. Your configuration here. Okay. So you will be writing your configuration here to connect it to the remote app that we have recently created. Okay. One more important thing that is missing here. Okay. One important thing that is missing here, that is we need to also connect it with the database, right? We need to also connect it with the database. So we need to add the database URL also. Okay. I need to add the database URL also. So I will be adding the database URL is, okay, https:// okay, this will come in double brackets, double quotes. Okay. HTTPS and whatever the project ID is, okay, whatever the project ID is, copy, paste, sorry, copy, paste, dot, Firebase IO, sorry, dot, firebaseio.com. Okay, this is the database URL that is there. Okay. Just this is the thing that you have to add on your own. Okay. Got it? So this is how you connect to the database. So database connection is also done. Okay, we have connected to the remote Firebase database that was there. Okay. Now let's I think. So by the way, do you think we are going slow or the pace is fine? We are going fast. What are your views on that? Slow, fast, fine. Do we need to speed up or we should go more slow? This is fine. सही चल रहा है. Fine, right? Okay. Cool. Okay. Good. A bit fast. Okay. Well, don't try to copy everything. Okay. The code is something that you'll be getting at the last. I know you are understanding this for the first time, so things may be little new for you guys. Okay. So, okay. So we'll be adding the authentication. Constant authentication equals to Firebase.authentication. Okay. And Firestore is also something we'll be using. But variable declaration kariye. Firebase.firestore. Okay. So I have done the variable authentication and the called authentication. Now see this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Nitya, actually, there is probably a little internet issue, not sure of this, but then it starts lagging. That is why. That's probably the issue. So I don't want to get a lag in that. Okay, so for the Firebase, okay. Yeah, this is a JavaScript thing. Okay, const let and yeah, this is how you define variables in JavaScript. Okay, and so now in the app thing, I told you, right, that we need the variables, right? So I'll be defining the variable constant user, like the variable I defined count. Okay, use authentication state. Okay, that Google, okay, that this Firebase will tell me automatically that whether Google, whether somebody has signed in or not. Okay. This is something that variable user is getting to know. Okay. So now everything I write inside this, okay, everything I write inside this, what is this component doing? This component, anything between the return statement, this is responsible for the design part of the chat app, right? मतलब my front view का design कैसा होगा, that is what it's responsible for. This is the hook that I have defined. Okay, use authentication state is helping me call that hook. Okay, now the next important thing. Okay, now the next important thing is like I'll be defining some header. Okay, and inside the header there is a heading h1, and heading could be anything. Welcome, folks. Okay, or maybe आओ बातें करें. Let's do it simple. आओ बातें करें. Okay. So just trying to make it a little more good. The heading is, this is the name of my chat app. आओ बातें करें. And okay. So now, and here should be a sign out button also. Okay. This is the sign out wala button. Sign out is a function, right? Try to see this. Sign out is a function that is I have called here. Okay. Sign out function. I'll be having a sign out button, right? You could see there. I'm having a sign out button here. I will do its designing part later, but this is the sign out button that I'll be having. Okay, the above structure. Okay, now in the lower screen, I should decide whether this thing should be visible, sign in screen should be visible, or the chat screen. How can I decide this? I mean, how should I decide this? Yes, guys, whether the chat screen should be visible or the sign-in screen should be visible. How will I decide this? This is something that you can tell me. Yes. कैसे पता, मतलब how should I decide that whether this screen should be visible or the chat section screen should be visible? How should I decide this, guys? Logical enough. Tell me. Good, yeah, good. Nice. Good, yeah, people are good. I mean, good answer. Yes, you have got it right. So if the user is signed in, okay, if the user is authenticated, so that the variable user that will be getting, if that is a non-valid, okay, that is a valid thing. Okay, so in the section, okay, after the heading section, we will be having a section. Okay. So now in the section, see this variables के लिए we use curly braces. So if the user is not a null value, this is the if else statement. Okay, if the user is not a null value, in that case, I will be using this as, okay, I will be using the chat room, right? Otherwise, this is an if else thing. Okay, otherwise I will go him that, okay, sign in is something that you will have to represent. Okay, so if the, okay, so and that is by default. If the user is not null, okay, if the user is signed in, then this value will be a non-null value. Otherwise, this value will be a null value. So if the user is signed in, then we will be showing him the chat room. And if it is not signed in, then we will show him the sign in page, right? Like everybody has guessed it, right? Correct. Guys, try to be more interactive. I could see Ronak, Shubh, Reddy, Mr. Reddy, and Sahil, Shubham, Tausif, right? Ofri. These people are mostly interacting. Let's try let's see, let's more people join the chat section. That will be more interactive and fun for you guys. Okay? तो मैंने decide कर लिया. ठीक है, cool है. Now I will be just quickly doing the sign in option. Okay. And let's see how our page looks like. npm start. Actually, I think currently there will be a lot of errors. Not sure. Oh, because a lot of things, because we have not defined the sign in sign out page. This is the basic structure. There are a lot of things that yet to be defined, but we'll do that. Okay. Let's define that. Okay. Because sign in, sign out, and chat room are empty. That's why. Backend. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the styling part all together. Okay. I just want you guys to understand, because see, HTML CSS is not something I want to teach you guys. I will try to cover the React component important. Okay. That is the can highlight the backend part of the app. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do that Firebase also. Okay. So in order to connect it, okay, I told you, right, two important things. One of them is the return between the return statement, and this will decide how my design will look like. Okay. यहाँ पर there should be a division or anything, you can keep it empty also. Okay. Here I should have a button that should show me the sign in, right? This is the button I was talking about. If I sign out, this button I should have sign in, right? So I'm defining that button. Same, right? Button class name equals to sign in. Sign in. The button class name is sign in. And what should happen on click? Okay, एक function बनाएंगे on click. That on click this should happen. Okay, sign in with Google. Okay, sign in with Google, and this is the function that will be called. And inside the button we'll be writing sign in. Okay. Okay. So after the button, that is the button that has been created, I will add a paragraph tag. Okay. And the paragraph tag is like let's connect and talk, and let's connect to talk and group together. Hashtag we will talk. Okay, something like this, right? Okay. Okay, so this function sign in is not defined, right? So any function that I define, I will define outside the return statement. Okay. So constant sign in function. Okay, sign in function. This is little JavaScript. Okay. Not very detailed, but yeah, JavaScript to hai ye. Okay, that is how you define the functions. Equals to. Matlab, if you could relate it to some extent to the counter thing, it is almost similar to that. But yeah. And this constant sign in with Google. Okay. This is something that is a standard code. Okay. This is something a standard code, and new Firebase authentication, Firebase dot authentication dot Google authentication provider. Google authentication. This is the matlab, I am asking Google to open the tab and sign in, right? Okay. Authentication dot sign in with Google, right? Authentication sign in with pop-up, right? Sign in with pop-up and Google. So this is code that is that helps. We can define inside the function. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Anything that is written inside the function is a part of a component. Okay. So this is inside the function. What do you need to define, Tausif? I did not get you. What do you need to define inside the function?
We can define function inside the function.
Yeah, right. Actually, this is not a function. Technically, this is a component, right? So this anything that you see, this outside function sign in, this is more of like a component. It can have multiple functions inside this. In JavaScript, it's fine. I mean, we're okay with that. Okay. Provider again, Ronak. This is not something that is much. This is not something that can be explained much. This is like more or like a standard code. Okay, that helps you. This is a pre-written code, honestly. Okay, this is not something that has much of the logic, but the idea is that we try to so Google authentication provider is a pre-built code that in authorization section that whatever the provider we enabled, right? Whatever the provider we enabled, that what provider you want, there could be multiple providers, right? One of the providers that I've called is in the Firebase authentication section. Okay, in the Firebase authentication section, I am calling that Google provider, right? We enabled, right? You remember in the sign-in function, Google authentication provider, that we enabled Google, right? We could have enabled multiple providers also. That okay, give me another provider, sign in with Facebook. Provider one, sign in with Facebook. Firebase.authentication. Matlab you could add multiple providers. So we have just added one of the providers that sign in with Google. ठीक है, तो you can add multiple providers, ऐसे providers कर सकते हो, and then you can just authentication authorization, right? Okay, so it's like, so I am having currently only one provider, that's the Google authentication provider, so this is why I have written this. Okay, तो sign in हो गया. Okay, sign out कैसे लिखेंगे? Sign out is simple. Okay, sign out is also simple. Okay, sign out कब करेंगे? Okay, sign out कब करेंगे? I will be signing out only. Okay, I will be signing out only. So if you realize this, okay, if you realize this, on click sign out button, right, good, good. I mean, one important thing is that I don't want that my sign out button should be present if I'm not even signed in, right? My sign out button should be present if I have not even signed in, तो पहले sign out नहीं आना चाहिए, right? If the sign out button is if I have not signed in on the main screen, the sign out button should not be present. But if I have signed in, then the sign out button should be present, right? That makes sense. That if I have signed in, so after I've logged in, I should have the sign out button only if I have signed in, but only after signing. Yes, right. Good, guys. So I will be calling it, okay, return. You should have two things. One of them is the authorization dot. Key current user should be there. Okay. And okay, मतलब that is a important thing. That कि अगर sign in होगा, then this thing will be true, right? If the sign in, if the user would have signed in, then this particular current user would have been true. And the second thing is the presentation thing, right? That the button should be there. Okay. Button, simple, class name, sign out sign out button होना चाहिए, and on click of an event. On click of an event, you should have a function. You can add it here also. If you're having a small function, you can write it here only. But if you're having a large function, then you have to write it separately, right? So अगर small function होता है, you can write it inside this only. But if you're having a large function, you have to write it here separately and call it from here. So I'm having a small function only in this case, sign out. Okay, that is authorization dot sign out. Okay. ये ना बहुत सारी चीजें, a lot of things have been pre-written by Firebase and we're just simply calling them. Okay, these all things sing out means sign out. A lot of these things are pre-written and we're just simply calling them. Okay, nothing being fancy. And the button is the sign out button. I'm not sure why I'm writing it sing out only. Okay, so this is the sign out button that is there. Okay, any doubts up till this point, girls and boys? Yes, any doubts? Clear चल रहा है ना? Let me know any queries up till this point. No, okay. Which of them is a sign out symbol? Asterisk. I have never used this symbol. Which is the sign out symbol? Everything is quite clear. Okay. Sounds good. I did not get it. Ujjwal, मैं समझा नहीं आपकी बात. What is thing? Okay, maybe designing part is something Ujjwal you can do it, try it on your own. And okay, now important thing. Now comes the important thing. Now tell me one thing. Okay. Now tell me one thing. Now this is the chat room that we're talking about, right? Now this is the third component that we need to complete. The third component is the chat room. Okay. Now inside this chat room, we are having multiple list of messages. Okay. Multiple list of messages हैं inside this chat room, right? Now try to see the idea of reusability. Okay. See this. Okay. So inside this chat room, okay, I am having a lot of messages, यहाँ पर बहुत सारे messages आएंगे. What if it would be a good idea, okay, it would be a good idea that if I really create, okay, if I really create another function called as chat message, okay, I really create another function called as chat message, okay, and write how a message will be presented, right? Now I am presenting you the beauty of the reusability. See, देखो ध्यान से समझना. Each of them is a message, right? Each of them is a message and they follow the same structure. Only the content is different, right? If Tushar is sent, only the content of this message is different. The structure is same, right? What is the different? Here is the photo, okay, which it gets from the Google photo, and here is the content, right? Here is the content, and for the sender also, okay, for the sender also same, right? Only the direction is different, right? Design is different, the idea is same, right? It has some information, okay, it has some information, and the second thing it has is a photo, right? So these are the things that it is having, right? So I will make a function chat message separately, okay? See very carefully, and this will, and you will understand the importance that why do I really need that, why do I really need something called as you will understand the beauty of reusability, right? Okay. So something it has become. I'm not sure this will not work as of now. Okay. But yeah. Okay. So inside the chat room, okay, first just quick things. I will need to have, so chat room is also having two important things we discussed, right? So one of them is the list of messages, right? जो list of messages and this is also chat room has to get it. ठीक है? ये list of messages, this is something that it will get from the database, because the database is having these list of messages, okay, whatever the list of messages was there, that is contained in this database. And second thing is this writing bar, this where I'll say something nice. Hope you guys are loving it. Okay, yeah. So कहाँ गया? आया क्यों नहीं? एक second. Why is it not coming? Oh, okay, got it. Actually, I'll tell you why it's not coming. Actually, I've set a limit of 25 messages only for this. Okay, that's why it's not coming. So there would be 25 messages. That's why it's not coming. But we'll change it for this time. Okay. So inside the function chat room, okay, inside the function chat room. So I need to get the list of all the messages. Okay. I'll get the list of all the messages. So constant dummy is something I'll talk a little bit later, but it's important. Okay. अभी के लिए इसको छोड़ दो. But I need to get all the messages. Okay. So I will create a database. Okay. So you remember we created a database, right? So we have created this database, Firestore database. We will create a collection in this. Okay. I will create a collection in this. And okay. So I'll show you this constant messages reference. Messages reference कि सारे messages from the Firestore dot collection. ठीक है, तो इसमें we could actually contain multiple databases. I will not write this database, but we are having a database message. You will see this. Okay, so we are having a database messages. Okay, get me the list of messages. ठीक है, तो मैंने एक query करी database पे. Just give me a second. I need to connect it my phone to the charger so that I may be just don't give me a second. I'll be back. Yes, okay, back. So we were making a query to the database, ठीक है, कि जो भी collection बनाया मैंने, कि help me get to that information from the database. Okay, so I will be making a query that, okay, get me the database from the messages reference dot order by, okay, कि जो भी messages, so they should be in order, right? The next thing is they should be in order, that whoever has sent the message first should be presented on the top. So order by what? कि जब ये message create हुआ था in the database, created at, okay, and the limit, you need to get only how many messages. They could contain a lot of messages, right? I am just getting some 100 messages, okay. So I have set, for the previous case, I remember I've set the 25. So that is why it could not show more than 25 messages. So I am getting the 25 messages, okay. So now I have set the limit to 100, okay. Now see this, okay. Now we will also create the messages, ठीक है. अब मुझे messages बनाने, मतलब present करने हैं, right? I need to present these messages. Yes, no, guys, यहाँ तक clear है ना? I mean, you're clear up till this point. Let me know, because things are getting little bit complicated. I want little more effort from your end. Yeah, yes. Okay, good. Others, चले गए क्या तुम लोग? You guys have gone? Tea time हो गया तुम्हारा? Okay. Ujjwal, Varanasi Pranati, Somesh, Shraddha, Satyajit. Guys, come on, let's be more active. Created at means that, so, you know, there is a timestamp when you actually create a message, that this message was created in the database at 4:30, for example. This is like in WhatsApp, you understand, right? Message was sent at this. So it would have been created in the database at a particular time. Right? समझ गए रौनक? Yeah, right. So we are sorting it on, we'll discuss on that, Aditya. So I'll talk about that, Aditya. Use reference is something I'll talk on that. Okay. I've just added it, but you will understand it a little bit later. Now, so now I need a variable, okay. I need a list of variables. I told you, right? So similarly, there is Firebase is providing us another, what to say, function like user. So this is one of the functions that we use, right? This is one of the hooks that we used, right? This hooks that we used. Similarly, I am writing another hook that is given to us from React Firebase hooks. That is कि अगर मुझे use collection database, ठीक है? Sorry. यूज कलेक्शन डेटाबेस, जो भी कलेक्शन का डेटा है उसके लिए हुक है, राइट? कि वेरिएबल है, मतलब दिस इज फंक्शन फ्रॉम रिएक्ट फायरबेस हुक्स /firestore. Okay, that from that whatever the collection of messages that I've created, right? Whatever the query has given me a set of messages, I need to get it in a variable so that I can present it. Okay, so that I can display it, right? Okay, so I will be defining the variable constant like I defined the variable user, right? I do messages chahiye mujhe in the variable use collection data, okay, from that query, okay, and the ID, there should be an ID also. This is something I'll talk about, ID field. ID field given by ID. Okay, this is something that you will get it in some time. Okay, or should we create the add messages first? पहले add messages डाल देते हैं. Okay, so first I'll try to add the message. Okay, then we'll be trying to present the messages. Okay, so now try to understand this. Okay, so this is the little bit function. This is the messages. So let's try to add the message first. That will make more sense. So in the return function, the add column that we need to add, right? So for that case, we'll be having, तो यहाँ पर अपने को एक फॉर्म डालना है, right? We need to add a form here, the end form, where I could say something. So we need to add a form here, okay, like a button, right? So similar to a button, I am having a form. On submit, okay, on submit, something should happen, right? A send message function I'll be creating, okay, कि एक send message, एक message database में चला जाएगा. Not understood line number 93. Yeah, actually, what is this line doing? This is just a variable. This is a variable defined. Okay, this is a variable that is defined to get all the messages, right? कि जो भी database में message पड़े हैं, get all the database, get all the messages. This is just simply a variable that is defined. कि get all the variables, get all the messages in the variable messages. Okay. Okay. So in the form, okay, in the form send message, yeah, this is actually, this will not be a list, but it's a structure kind of thing on a object वाली चीज आती है इसमें. We'll see that, okay. तो एक message आया मेरे को, okay, okay, we'll be writing a function message, and what should be the input value? I should get some input, okay. Input value should be equal to the form value. तो मैं एक वेरिएबल भी बना लेता हूँ, okay. I should define another variable कि what should be the value, whatever the value I am filling here, okay. So here, whatever the value that I keep, this is going in the form value, in the variable form value, okay. So whatever, तो यहाँ पर ये वाली मैसेज को स्टोर करने के लिए ध्यान से समझना. देखो, I'll give you an idea and then we'll be writing the code quickly. Just 10 minutes of your attention and you will be crystal clear with this. एकदम झकास. See this. Database है ये, okay. Database is having a list of messages. I'll just show you the previous database. Just give me a second. Okay. I'll show you the previous database that has been created. So this is the database. Okay. Okay. See, this is the messages collection that was created, and these are the messages that has been there. Okay. So each message, okay, that if you could see that these are all the messages that you have sent. Okay. Each of the message, if you realize this, each of the messages having a following points, right? That at what point it was created, ठीक है? उसका created time, उसके photo. This is the Google photo that you get. Okay, this is the simple Google photo that you get. This is the text, right? This is the text that you get, and this is its unique ID. Okay, so everything in database gets a unique ID, right? So when I was trying to fetch the database, okay, what was line number 93 doing? It was trying to get all these messages, use collection data. So this is the collection data. We need to get top 25 entries or how many entries we want, right? It is simply getting those entries, right? So these are the messages, okay, and yeah, okay. ठीक है ना? So these are the messages. अब मुझे ये message को save करना है. I need to save these messages. So when I'm saving these messages, so I need only this information, the text, okay. So whenever the variable, so I need to store this information, right, in this database. So for that, in the form, what I'm asking, okay, what am I asking from this? Okay, I am asking only one thing, the form value, that yes, this is the form value that you really need. Okay, that yes, this is the form value that you actually need, and inside the form value, okay, for this form value, I'm defining a variable constant. These are called hooks, okay. These are called hooks. So I am defining this form value, comma, set form value. Okay. And this is like just a string, use state set to 0. Initially that is set to 0. Okay. Form value, set form value. So we are value कि जो भी value form value में चली जाए. Okay. And जैसे आप सबमिट करोगे ऑन चेंज, ठीक है, जैसे आप एंटर क्लिक करते हो, ओके, this thing on change, this thing should go e equal to, okay, this thing should go to set form value. Okay, this thing should go to set form value. कि मतलब जो भी मैसेज है that should the value should be set. समझो कि जो भी मैंने फॉर्म जो ध्यान से समझो, सी देखो ध्यान से समझो कि जहां पर ऑन क्लिक, ठीक है, कि जब भी आप क्लिक करोगे ऑन दिस, ठीक है, the moment you click on this enter, whatever the piece of information, whatever the content that you have added here, content that you have added here, that should be set. Okay, this thing, this string should be set in the form value. Okay, so on change I will be setting the form value e dot target dot value. ये थोड़ा सा ही अंडरस्टैंड, ये वाली चीज आपको थोड़ी सी कम समझ आएगी बिकॉज दिस इज लिटिल बिट, actually if you're good with JavaScript you will get, this is very obvious, okay, but if you're not very comfortable with JavaScript you will find it little disturbing. Okay, so but I am trying to tell you that कि whatever the variable string that you have kept here, उस variable string को मैं form value में डाल रहा हूं बस, ठीक है। यहां पर कुछ मैं प्लेस होल्डर डाल देता हूं, ठीक है, कि यहां पर क्या दिखना चाहिए, द प्लेस होल्डर शुड बी कुछ बोलो स्पीक समथिंग, एनीथिंग, राइट गाइस? समझ आ रहा है थोड़ा बहुत, नहीं आ रहा? यस नो यस ओके यस यस ओके साउंड्स गुड। ये 4-5 लोग ही एक्टिव वैसे मैंने देखा है, आई मीन these 4-5 people are only active, others I don't know what happens to them. थोड़ा I understand little bit difficulty in JavaScript is little pain, right? Yes, but I'm trying that you get it mostly. Okay, so this is more of like actually for the first I think 2-3 projects it will be very difficult for you to write it on your own, but once you're more comfortable in the JavaScript, okay, these are things that are more very obvious in JavaScript. Okay, so you need to get little bit good command in JavaScript, and React is more like a practice game, right? React is a very big practice game. Okay, so on the button, the button that we have added, okay, button type is submit. This is simple, okay, and disabled. What does this thing also? We'll be resetting the form value. If the form value is there, okay. So what does this mean? That if I have not entered any text, okay, if I have not entered any text, I cannot click on the submit button. This is what it means. That this button should be disabled if the form value is empty. Okay, that if I'm not typing anything, if I have not typed anything, my submit button should be empty. Okay, that it should be disabled if the form value is null. There is no string value, then this thing should be null. Okay, disabled, and yeah, यहाँ पर go simple, right? Okay, so this is the button type. The form has been submit. Okay, now try to understand this. ध्यान से समझना, जो string, the string that you have really set, okay, the string that you have really set has gone in the variable form value. Okay, but we need to send it to the database also, right? We need to send this information, the form value, to the database using the function send message. Okay, so I am defining the function send message. Okay, ये थोड़ा सा this is an async await function. So constant send message, okay, equal to async. Do you guys know what is async await? Anybody? Any piece mark here? Anybody knows what is async await? No, sir, no idea. Okay. Anybody idea? Any idea? Any idea, Sarji? a bit. Okay, Ronak, you want to explain this? Yeah, Ronak, please try explaining this. Any idea? No, sir. Okay. Okay. I'll try to explain you this little bit. Okay, this is one of the difficult concepts of JavaScript. Okay, I'll try to throw some light. Promises तो ठीक है, ये सब चीजें तो ठीक है. I mean, I'll just tell you what is. So this is used in combination. Okay, it's like async and await. So what does this thing? So these are called promises, tough terms in JavaScript. But I'll tell you what do we really mean when we write these words. What we really mean when we write these words is that, okay, so actually what happens in JavaScript, okay, um, suppose, okay, suppose a lot of people are writing messages continuously, okay. Suppose people are, you try to understand, right, that you guys and me, so suppose you and me are chatting, right, we all people are chatting in a Discord server. Everybody is writing messages almost simultaneously, right? Everybody is writing messages almost simultaneously. Okay. So these all messages have to go in a queue. Okay. These messages have to go in a queue. Correct. Okay. So they, I mean, ऐसा नहीं है कि, so if, okay, so what is the idea? If suppose if me and my friend are talking, okay. So if my message is going, okay, if my message is going to the database, and that can take some time. Meanwhile, this message, okay, this message will wait, okay, this message will wait for this transaction to complete, and then this will go inside the database. You're getting this thing? Suppose lot of people are communicating, right? That, so it is like, so once this, if this message is processing and going inside the database, actually the query, yeah, right. So all these messages, okay, all these messages will wait, okay, these messages will wait for this transaction to complete, okay, for this transaction to complete, and then they will go when their turn comes, right? So they will go when their turn comes. Meanwhile, they will wait. Make sense? They will go when their turn comes, right? So meanwhile, they're actually waiting, okay. Well, that is the idea. That is why we are really using the async await. Okay, you can get a rough idea that we are waiting for the transactions to complete. And also, even in one message, if I talk about, okay, even in one message, so sometimes what happens, okay, so this unique ID, okay, this unique ID that you have created, the unique ID that is being created for every message, this creation also takes some time, okay. This creation also takes some time. Also, there is another possibility that the photo URL that you are seeing, okay, the photo URL that you're seeing, that also takes some time, okay, that also takes some time, and the form value has come. So until all these things are not complete, okay, until all these things are not complete, जब तक ये complete नहीं हो जाती सारी information, we will wait for this to before sending it to the database, ठीक है. ये सारी चीजें इकट्ठी ही भेजेंगे हम लोग, तो we will wait for the things to complete, and then we will send it together, okay. This is what it really means, that wait, okay, this is like a little asynchronous, right? Messages reference dot add, okay, कि add कर दो, ध्यान से देखना, okay. Text है जो उसमें text है, right? I told you, right, there are multiple fields in this. If you could see this, there are multiple fields. So text is what? Text will be set as the form value, okay. This is the form value. Created at is something he will get from the timestamp. कब ये create हुआ? This is the Firebase. This is inbuilt thing from the Firebase. वो timestamp note कर लेते हैं. Firestore dot field value. dot server timestamp, right? So this is an inbuilt function कि time note कर लो कि किस time पे messages आए, created at, okay? And next is a unique ID, okay? एक unique ID और photo URL हम लोग मंगवा लेते हैं. This is something that we get from the user, okay? Constant unique ID and the photo URL, right? These are the things that we are getting from the user. Authorization dot कि जो भी current user login है उसकी photo और unique ID give me, okay? And same things, just we'll be sending these same things, UID and the photo URL. Okay, so these are the things that we have been sending inside the database, and we will wait for all of them. Okay, we'll be waiting for all of them to get this. Okay, new reference is not defined actually. Just a second. Okay, so I will wait for all of these things to come, and then I will be sending it to the then I will be sending this thing to the what to say, बस ही हो गया, मैसेज में ऐड हो गया. और जो भी फॉर्म वैल्यू है आई विल बी सेटिंग इट टू डिफॉल्ट, सेट इट टू 0 बैक टू नल. Okay, and also जो भी मैंने अब ये मैसेज प्रेजेंट भी होना चाहिए, राइट? जो भी स्क्रॉल व्यू है, राइट, it should be presented here also, right? It should be presented here also. So that is what use reference is used for. We'll talk more on this a little bit later, but for now, okay, try to understand. Scroll into view, the smooth, right? That behavior, okay? Behavior smooth. Just a second. मतलब कि that should be immediately presented in scroll manner, smooth manner, right? अभी के लिए we'll discuss more on this. Okay, I will try to explain you a little bit towards the end on this. Okay, अभी के लिए हम इसको नहीं कर रहे हैं. But the idea is this. That is why the use reference was created. Okay. Okay. तो send message वाला clear हो गया. Send message is अभी तक clear, right? Send message clear how the message is going inside the database. Yes, no. Okay. Guys, people are understanding this. Good, good. Okay, okay. Good, sounds good. Okay. Do you guys want a 5 minutes break, 10 minutes break, or no? We should continue. Break, no break. Continue, please. Okay. Break 5 minutes. Continue. You can alternate time again, guys. Break. 6. Okay. Okay, we can take a 5 minutes break. Even that's fine. That's okay. Yes, yes, Ronak. Data we are sending an object of text, time, UID, and photo URL. Correct. Okay, so that's a 5 minutes break. Okay. A quick 5 minutes break. Go get some water. Don't call your girlfriend. Then you will not come back. I know. Okay. And make an evening plan. Okay, please come back. You can go afterwards. 5:05. Yes. See you guys back at 5:05. Okay. Yes, definitely. Lakshay will be able to complete it till 6. Okay, today's India versus Pakistan. Okay, I get it. Okay. So Lakshay earlier made a plan. I know Lakshay made a plan, but then he remembered that okay, today's India versus Pakistan. So he told his girlfriend that no, we'll not go outside today. है ना लक्ष्य? ऐसे ही हुआ था ना? नहीं. Adit, a photo URL is not required, but it's good idea, right? कि आपकी ये photo भी दिखे. That is why. ये photo दिखाने के लिए photo URL is there. She'll be watching with me. Yeah. Yeah. Lakshya, nice. लक्ष्य स्टार्ट मैन है ऐसे हल्के में नहीं लेना लक्ष्य का स्ट्रिक्स क्या होते हैं भाई स्ट्रिक्स तो मुझे खुद नहीं पता क्या होते हैं Yeah, guys, welcome back. Um, you need recording, okay. Sounds okay, but why do you really need that? I mean, yes, Nitya, why do you need the recording? Two people have gone. They've gone.
Sir, because something I not understand in this lecture.
Okay,
That's why.
okay. Sounds good. Maybe I'll try that.
So I also need recording for some of the topic that I am not understanding after seeing the video. I can understand and some other.
Makes sense. I'll try that. You'll get the recording probably. Okay, you can get that. That's fine. I mean, I'll just confirm with the team once. Everything together is confusing. That's why we need recording. Okay, can't understand much. Okay, makes sense. Got it. I'll try talking with the team and probably we'll get the recording. Okay, and I'll just message the team once and I'll wait for the reply. Is there anybody from the Q8 team? Atul, Sudhanshu, guys, you're there.
Sir, we want the recording because, sir, I joined a bit late because there was an exam schedule. And the second reason is that, sir, by seeing the recording, sir, we can have a thorough process and step by step, we can learn from it.
ठीक है justified. समझ गया मैं. दे देंगे recording. ठीक है cool है. Makes sense. So I will try to share the recording. Okay. 4 people have left, right? ठीक है, no issues. Okay, so let's quickly jump to this. So we were talking about this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The things we are doing is the most of the chatting are doing right now, right? Like the chatting, the sending and the messaging, the other things.
Sorry, Tasif. Little audio issue, maybe not clear. I mean, audible. The voice is not an issue, but I mean it's not clear. Probably you can use the chat section. Probably.
Text me.
All right. Okay. So meanwhile, Tasif tells us something interesting. We'll try to fix it. So okay. So I'll just try to quickly do this. Thank you. Okay, sounds good. So we were talking about this. We were talking about. कहाँ थे हम लोग भूल गए हैं. हाँ, we have understood how to create a form. Okay, we've understood how to create a form. Now we'll be just getting the messages, right? So whatever the messages that I talked about, we just need to get those messages, right? कि जो भी now you understand this. Okay, now you could understand this better. That what I'm doing in line number 93, that whatever the messages that are present in the database, I am ordering them by created at that at whatever timestamp they were created at. Get the 100 messages and or I could get the 150 messages. That's fine. I mean whatever the messages that you want to show. Okay, and use the collection data. Okay, and get it from the field. Okay. Okay, so once I get the messages, now the important thing is that I need to present that message also, right? So I need to present that message. ठीक है, जो messages हैं अब मुझे उनको present करना है. Now see this, if the messages are present and messages.map, this is important. Now try to see this very importantly. I will create a function chat message, ठीक है. I will create another function. Okay, see this. This is another function कि एक message कैसा दिखता होगा, ठीक है. And inside this, I will pass something called as props. Okay, what are props? Props are nothing but functional function के parameters भी होते हैं, right? Now try to see this. Try to understand this. This is important. Things we are doing done by most of the messaging. Yes. I mean they are using different. So it's
framework. They are using the different framework. We are using the
yes. Okay. So now try to understand this very important concept. So अब मेरे पास messages आ चुके हैं. I have got a list of messages. Okay. What is this doing? This is helping me get a list of messages, right? Now I am calling a for loop. Okay, I'm calling a for loop. Or it's actually map is almost doing the similar thing. And inside this, I am calling another function that is a chat message. And what is the chat message actually doing? And I am sending the data, right? Function call kari with the data is being passed. And inside the chat message function, okay, inside the chat message function, there is something called as props. Props मतलब functional parameters. कि जो मैंने function में parameters भेजे. These are called the function parameters, right? Like in function, you have the function parameters, right? So similarly is what we are having here. Okay. In the messages, whatever the messages are there, with the help of the, see, now try to understand this very beautifully, that we are doing here code reusability. This function, this chat message is telling how to present a message, right? This is telling how to present a message, simple. Okay. How to present a message. And using the chat, using a loop and using the list of messages that I've got, I'm reusing this code. I'm code reusing. Okay. The code is being reused, and every time I'm just passing a data component here. Okay. The data component could be the जो भी इसमें data है. The text is there, right? Or the photo URL is there. So these are the two data components that I'm sending here as a parameter, and here I'm printing this. समझो, for example, that for example I've got 10 messages. यहाँ पर 10 messages में iterate कर रहा हूँ. I equals to 1 से लेके 10 तक, 1 से लेके 10 तक, and every time I'm sending the data. So chat message will do what? Chat message is simply printing that, right? So what is the chat message doing? Chat message is simply printing that. So what will happen in the chat room, because this code, this particular piece of the code is written in the chat room. So what happens in the chat room? Okay, so what happens in the chat room? The list of 10 messages, whatever the 10 messages are there, okay, these 10 messages go, okay, these 10 messages go and get printed here and there. Okay, 10 messages get printed here and there. ये 10 messages print हो जाते हैं. 10 messages get printed. समझ आए आप? did you guys get the idea? Yeah, okay, sounds good. Others थक गए हैं लोग. People are waiting for maybe the match. I don't know. They want to go for tea, snacks. I understand this. This happens in every class. Okay. So okay. Yes. Strong. Yes. सही भी लग रहा है. People are enjoying this. Somesh, yeah. Yes. Nice. Okay. So that is the idea. This is what we are implementing it. Okay. So inside the map message, I'm just calling the function. Okay. Inside the map message, I'm just calling the function that, okay, message. This is the way how we call the map in JavaScript. Little bit of JavaScript, okay, but chat message, and I'm sending two things. Okay, one of the things I'm sending is the message ID. Okay, कि जो भी message की ID है. 1 second. Okay, so two things I'm sending. P equals to message ID. And second thing that I'm sending is the message. Okay. two variable भेज रहा हूँ मैं. Message equals to message. So two variables I'm just simply sending P and the complete message. Now try to see in this props that. So these are the मतलब अब मुझे, this is like a for loop in which I am calling all the messages with the help of a chat message, and I am trying to print those messages, right? Inside the function chat message, okay, inside the function message, I will be getting all the information. मेरे पास वो सारी information आ जाएगी. कैसे? I am getting the information, constant text UID and the photo URL. Okay, photo URL equals to props dot message. Okay, props dot message, and yeah. अब मुझे क्या करना है? Now ध्यान से देखना. अब मुझे message, what is the function this is doing? This has to print the message. Basically, the idea for this chat message is to print the message. Well, right. So, but if you realize this, the chat message has to be printed in two ways. The message that I have sent has to be printed on the right side, and the message that somebody else has sent has to be printed on the left hand side, right? So this is the difference. Okay. Now see this. So what we'll be doing, तो एक ध्यान से देखना, अगर तो जो मेरी मैसेज क्लास है, राइट, जो मेरी मैसेज क्लास है, मतलब I will be defining, now see this, I will be defining the class, okay, I'll be defining the class, whether the class is sent or received, okay, so that according to sent and received class के according, why am I doing this? So that according to this, according to sent and received, I can use the CSS. I can use the CSS. Okay. I can use the CSS. That is why I'm doing this. Okay. Now try to see this. तो message class को मैं लेता हूँ constant message class. ये वो sent में आएगी या उसमें आएगी. That is if the UID. Any idea how we'll be doing this? Yes, you guys should be able to answer this. How will I check if it is sent or received? How will I define this, the message class? Guys, you will be able to do that. कैसे करेंगे? Yes, Javano. How will I actually define this? Simple. हमने करा है ये चीज. The question is that, see, I told you there are two type of messages, right? Either the message is sent or the message is received. And accordingly, I have to present it. Either I will be presenting on the left side or I will be presenting on the right side. How will I come to know that this message which has come in the chat message, okay, this message which has come in the chat message is a sent message or a received message? कैसे पता लगेगा? That is the question. Yes, Ronak, good. Right? Define, I mean, I will be checking it if on click send the print on the right side. Okay, so idea is that I will be comparing the unique ID, जो UID मेरे पास आई है parameters में, if that is equals to the authorization dot current user dot ID, मतलब अगर जो मेरा login user है, अगर उसकी unique ID से match करता है ये चीज, in that case that is a sent message, otherwise that's a received message, right? So if the unique ID that has come as a parameter with the login user, अगर login user के साथ match, it is matching, then that's a sent user, otherwise that's a received user. Okay. Now I just simply need to use the CSS. This is now the CSS part is left mostly. Okay. We are almost done with this. Okay. So I'll be using the div class, and this is something interesting. So message class, message is dollar bracket एक second bracket close. तो मतलब मैं यहाँ पर एक मैसेज के साथ एक मैसेज क्लास भी भेजूंगा ना. हाँ, this will not be a bracket, square bracket, ठीक है. तो यहाँ पर एक मैसेज क्लास भेज दूंगा. That is actually to distinguish कि जो मैसेज सेंट है या फिर मैसेज रिसीव्ड है. just to distinguishes these messages from the message sent and message received, I am sending this. ठीक है? Okay. बस बाकी image, मुझे एक image भेजनी है. img src equals to the photo URL. Okay. And second thing is the text, right? Just one thing. Just one thing, guys. Give me a second. Yeah. So that is how I'm getting the message class and the image, right? So I think we are almost completed with, okay, we have almost completed with this. Let's see if this is working fine. Let's just check this if it's working fine. Okay. So we'll just sign in with Google and let's see if this is working. So I'll be logging in with the account. Okay. So I need to speak something. Kuch bolo. Only the designing part is left. Okay. Let's just see this. Hi. Welcome. Right. So this is working fine, right? Let's stylish this. Okay. So this is working fine. Okay. It seems like this is working fine, but this is like having a really bad UI. And also I'll show you the Firestore also. So what was the QA chat app, right? The name. So if you could see in the database, okay, the information would have gone inside the database, right? Inside the messages, you could see there are two information that have been went. Hi, welcome. And the second information has been gone is let's style this, actually stylish this. Yeah. So, but this is having a very really bad UI. Okay. This is having a really bad UI. I'll just so what I'll do, I'll just simply copy paste the style sheet because this is of course a React class and will not be spending time on the styling it. Okay, that's simple CSS and that is very subjective. You can do it on your own. So I can just I have that style sheet ready. I'll just get it for you guys. Okay, so we'll be just copy pasting the style sheet. And you can style it as at your own level. This is simple styling, simple same CSS styling that you use dot app app border, same exactly same, right? So nothing fancy in this. Okay, so that's the idea. Let's see if this is working better. Yeah, so this is working fine, right? Okay, so this is the styling part. Hope you guys understood this. It's simple. Got it? Map part where we did code for the map. ये code कर तो दिया था, I mean. We did it here, right? Yeah. So for all the messages, we're just sending it the message. Okay, message.map is like using an iteration. Okay, and for everything, we are sending this in another component with some parameters. Okay, the parameters are called props. दो parameters भेज रहा हूं मैं, message ID and the message itself. Right. So this is like a for loop. This is actually acting as a for loop, and this is the form that is doing for the submission. Okay, these things are coming in the components chat room, right? Use state function, Adit, is basically is like an inbuilt hook. Okay, use state is basically an inbuilt hook, and the use of it is just to मतलब ये React का inbuilt चीज है, and this is just to manage the variables, right? This inbuilt hook is just used to manage the variables. तो variables बस React के variables हैं वो, okay? Just to do that auto reloading part, okay? Just to help with that auto reloading part. That is why we use the use state for the variables, okay? Just to tell that it's a React variable, and this will be auto reloading. Got it, Adit? Okay, so now I think we are mostly done with this. Okay, we are done with this. Congratulations. आओ बातें करें, कुछ बोलो. And hope you guys understood. Hope you guys also enjoyed the session. I will quickly deploy this. Enjoyed the session. Okay. Yeah. Nobody चला गया क्या? Okay. So yeah. So that is the idea. That's the overall idea. Emoji part is left. Emoji यार, this is homework. Emoji तो कर लो यार. That's styling part. ये सब तो खुद कर लो. I mean हमने अच्छे लगा यार. I think. और बातें करें. Okay. Now, so before we really deploy this, okay, before we actually deploy this, one important thing. Okay, one important thing. So the deploying process is very simple. Okay, each of you guys can make an account on Netlify. Okay, each of you guys can make an account on Netlify. So Netlify is an online place where you can deploy this. Netlify, simple. Yeah. So Netlify is where we'll be deploying our app. Okay, this is what Netlify looks like. Login. Okay, I have already made an account, so I will be having the account. मेरे पास खुद already मैंने account बना रखा है. So you can just simply log in it with this. Okay. यहाँ पर आपको कुछ sites नहीं आएंगी. So you will add a new. Okay, before you really add a new site, you have to run this command npm run build. Okay. So what is npm run build does? npm run build actually creates an optimized production build folder. You could see this creating an optimized production build, and this is the build folder, right? कि वो इसको एक build folder में डाल देते हैं, okay, so that it can be मतलब little optimized कि जो फालतू चीजें हैं React की that वो हटा देते हैं, and that is the production ready code, okay, that you can readily deploy it, okay. Now what you will be doing, add a new site, deploy manually, okay, deploy manually, and here you will have to upload that build folder, okay. Here you will have to upload that build folder. My build folder is on desktop, Q8.
It's paid or free?
Yeah, this is free. Chat app and build folder. Upload, okay. Whatever the build folder was there, that build folder has to be uploaded. Upload, okay. Yes, so that will take some time, okay. It will take 2-3 minutes, and this will get deployed. Okay. This is free, right? This is free, yes. You can try doing it meanwhile, okay. I mean, you guys understand you guys are not, you don't have the code, so you will get the recording, okay. Recording part, I had a word with Atul. I messaged him, but yeah, recording is something you'll get. So you will be getting 3 things: code, recording, and some reference material if possible, right? ठीक है, तो ठीक है. So I'll just so you will get that through the mail, okay. Certificate also, yes. The third thing is certificate, yes, correct. Certificate is also something you'll be getting. So all these things you'll be getting over an email, and whatever the email that you have registered with, for the workshop, same email you'll be getting it. I'll just quickly show. I think this might have got deployed. Let's just recheck this. Arey yaar. Oh my God, it's okay. So this is the कहाँ गई अपनी? क्या नाम से बनाई है उन्होंने?
Qubit chat app.
This one.
Qubit chat app मेरी.
कहाँ है वो? Let's see this. I mean, actually, I think I log in from the different account. sure. मेरे पास इसमें 2 अकाउंट है, that's why probably. Not with this one. 896 नहीं है क्या? अभी तो लॉगिन था यार, क्या हो गया? This is not the account. अब मुझे ये नहीं पता कि इसमें मेरी ईमेल आईडी कौन सी है. एक सेकंड. Maybe log into my GitHub. Yeah, okay, I have logged in via GitHub. Okay, so you guys can also choose login via GitHub. Okay, so this is the thing that we have deployed. Okay, so this is the link. Okay, so same, right? Sign in Google, but it will not work, right? So this is not working. If you could see this is not working. If I try this, okay, so not working. Why that is not working? This is also important. Okay, so I will have to allow this site that this site can allow allow to open the Google Authenticator. I want this URL to be allowed to open the Google Authenticator. I will go to this, okay, authentication, settings, authorized domains, right? You could see that localhost was an authorized domain to open this Google Authenticator. I have to add this domain also, right? Add, right? So I have added this domain. Now this will work fine. Okay. So मैंने domain add कर दिया. I'll just simply reload this. Now if you go this, now it can open this. बस उसको authenticate करना था कि yes, this URL is allowed to open this. Okay. So yeah, so you can you guys can also tell your reviews how the session went. Okay. Any feedback for me? I think the almost session part is over. I'll just stop the recording part. Okay, stop the recording.